on Channel Africa.
It is 22 after 3. This is The Upside. Let's get into our first guest for the afternoon.
And of course, it is a wonderful weekend to look at brand new ways of watching TV, brand new shows that are coming up, and how social media is changing the way we discover that. And honestly, the page that I really go to when I want to discover something new is my baby, Mbuyiselo Vilakazi's a TikTok page in particular, a television producer, researcher, and media personality. Honey, welcome back to The Upside. How are you doing?
Oh, my word. Happy Friday, guys. I like the energy. I love
It's
the
all
energy.
for you. We love you. And we can't believe that you're the guy that we literally come to for the best recommendations when it comes to TV and to movies.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Next time, guys, call me in studio. I'll be there. I'll come to the studio.
We'll make it a
I'm so old
party.
school.
We'll make it a party. Speaking of parties, particular watch parties, you are someone who has the gallery. Back in the day, we used to have those newspapers, and at the back, they would have the TV guides of what's coming up. And you said, I'm here, let's do this. How do you tell when a show is a really good show, even before watching it?
Oh my word! I love that you spoke about the change. Things have changed drastically from those times where you used for a whole guide. You used to go to it. It would have all these SABC, Mnet, and all that. But now things have changed. We go to social media. People rely on social media. For me, first of all, I genuinely have to. I don't watch stuff because I have to post about it. I watch stuff because I want to enjoy something. You know, like if I'm watching something on SABC, I'm genuinely watching it because I'm, out of being genuine, not because I have the end goal is like I have to post. Everything that I post on my page is everything that I've watched. It's everything that I've enjoyed. I don't even skip an episode or skip. People always ask me, do you skip so that you can have a lot of things that you've watched? No. I genuinely sit down and watch TV. That has always been my life. So how do I know that a TV show is good? Yes, a sense of relatability. We love a good plot twist, but also simplicity is always the way to go. I just love a simple story, just a simple story, basics. That's what made shows such as shows from SAPs like Home Affairs iconic. It's because they were simple and relatable. Those were simple human stories.
Chat to us, Mbuyiselo, about how you are able to work with these different platforms and channels in terms of your offering, because you do something that's really quite unique. I know it's big overseas, but you collaborate with even some of the productions. Even if you're not involved, you get the inside scoop. You're there while they're shooting. You're doing all the behind the scenes stuff, and then you're bringing it to the rest of us. How do you build that part of your career? What do you think has sustained that part?
That's a good question. So initially because people, before I came in the scene, there'd been someone like Film Pella who had been doing tweets.
Okay.
So I'm one of the people who were trailblazers in doing now stuff digitally, right? In terms of visuals, TikTok and stuff. So initially, the production companies were quite apprehensive. They're like, who are you and why? This feels very invasive as well for them. They just didn't know how to handle all of this, as well. Are you a critic? Should there be, but if we remunerate you, are we bribing you? Are we buying your opinion? It was very tricky in the beginning. And then brands started to say, okay, there's something there. People listen to this guy. There's credibility. Credibility is what keeps brands and these production companies wanting to work with me. I'm not a person who works with what is sensational at the time. I work with facts, credibility, and research as well. That's what distinguishes me from anyone who's doing the same thing that I'm doing. But over the years, these brands and production companies have been open to an idea that, we're not enemies, we're actually collaborators. I had this conversation with the producers of the Housewives of Durban. I was explaining to them that, guys, we are not fighting. This is a collaboration. You guys bring out the work, we dissect the work, we make it simple as well for the viewers, and certain dynamics that they may not understand. It's more collaboration than we're not in any competition in any way.
There's something about the Mbuyiselos and content. I feel like you guys once you're given that name, you just know that you're going to eat content, whatever field you're in. But let's talk about being a researcher now for these shows, and then also on top of that, standing on the outside. Are you able to tell tell whether a show has enough research and the right production was put into the show?
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell. Research is very important. People don't understand. In fact, there's a series that was on I once worked on, and they had a focus group before the writers would go into a focus group and listen to people's stories, the nuances of those stories, and then they go to the writing room with real life stories instead of just creating stuff from fiction. Because you can tell when writers are not in touch with what is happening, reality. You can tell this person is writing from their house in Sentin, they're writing a story about Alexandra, but they've never been there. They're not in touch with what is happening. So research is very crucial, even not necessarily just for scripted shows, but even for unscripted. If you're gonna do a show about let's say again a show like a Mommy Club, you need to say what are women going through who are moms. Maybe it's hard to juggle career and motherhood. Some are going through marital issues. How do they balance that with also being mothers? How do they still show up for their kids? How do they still show up looking beautiful as well in society? How do they balance their spiritual life? How do they balance their health and wellness? So research is very important. It is really reflected on the show. You can tell that here there's not thorough research. Even language as well, there's language research. You can tell that how come the show is set in Soweto, but the accent is of Katlehong, but when you do research thoroughly, you're able to say, oh, a show is about Kwamashu. Then we can be from KZN, the accent is not the same. I'm from Zululand, someone who stays in Durban, they have a different accent. So
Sure.
research is very important, and you can tell if there's not thorough research that is done.
We're chatting to Mbuyiselo Vilakazi, one of the top entertainers and TikTokers, content creators in the space of television and films. We're going to continue the conversation with him, but right now it's 3:30. Let's get a sports update with Rachel Makura right here on The Upside. It is 4:45 on The Upside. We're still chatting to our rockstar of the afternoon. Joining us now, back with us, Mbuyiselo Vilakazi, who's a top content creator, influencer, who's influencing us on what to watch, shows, movies, everything on the big screen and on our tablets. Mbuyiselo, I want to chat about the success of The Polygamist and whether, having been involved behind the scenes, you knew the magnitude of what was being created and also what it's done maybe for even your career in the space.
Oh my word! By the way, very important. When I saw the invite to Channel Africa, I saw
Yeah.
Poppy. I was like, oh my word, she's an icon. She's a legend.
Hey, love to you.
We
Thank
love
you.
it.
I grew up, watching and listening to your work. I must say that, by the way. Disclaimer.
Love it.
So, yeah, back to The Polygamist. I got invited by the channel that distributed, The Polygamist,
Sure.
and that, hey, we are doing such a show. Would you come on set, just immerse yourself in the experience and what we're creating? To be honest with you, when I don't think they understood what they were creating was big. I could see that, okay, the production was big, but I don't think they understood. It's only now maybe it's dawning on them that, hey, we were doing something so massive, of that magnitude. And I did so much coverage around the show, facts, fun facts that people should know, things around production, story, dissecting the story as well. Why this choice of makeup? Why this choice of clothing as well? For me, I think as someone who's a commentator, it first it introduced me to new audiences because we know that the show was a global success. People are like, who's this young man from Africa, who knows so much about TV and the art as well. That's the first one, and also I think it showcased my range as well as a commentator and content creator, because a lot of people thought, oh, Mbuyiselo, we can just restrict him to reality TV, if he's talking all things reality, whereas my range is actually wide as well. So yeah, those are some of the things I can that are quite notable surrounding with The Polygamist. But I think what a I think that no one anticipated that the show is going to be such a huge success like that. Yeah.
Let's talk about what's happening in television in Africa and
Yes.
how we're kind of meeting the standards of the international stage. I mean, I think it goes without saying that there are a number of African shows now that we can foresee collecting the big awards and possibly even getting EGOT awards. Let's talk about that. You know,
Yeah.
what do you foresee? What are some of your predictions?
You know what? I think not just the polygamists. I think South Africa, we've always been goated, guys. We are not a people of quantity. We may not be releasing everything every day, but we are people of quality. That's that is what sets us apart. South Africans have always been good, and when you look at as someone who watches even Afrikaans TV is also very good quality. They always get international Emmy nominations. By the way, I think people forget about the Afrikaans world. I think we're gonna see a lot of Emmy nominations and maybe. Collaborations as well. When you look at the polygamist, it has attracted a lot of attention. We've seen your Sherry as well, your
Underwood,
Taraji. They're like, wait, what is happening that side in Africa? Who knows as well? We might see someone like, your Tyler Perry's investing in studios here in South Africa because, I mean, there's no other better place than here in South Africa.
Agreed,
Yeah.
agreed,
Those
agreed.
are some of my predictions. Yeah.
Let's wrap up just by chatting where we can find you and what's next for Mbuyiselo Vilakazi.
All right, you can check me out on various TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Mbuyiselo Vilakazi. Yeah, I think there's, I'll be here holding it down. There's nothing much. I'm constantly watching new shows, constantly looking out for changes that are happening in the industry. Even right now, I'm sure you guys have seen within the family of SABC, Generations is moving. Uzalo is coming to 8 p.m., which is quite exciting. I mean, I'm just, there watching out for trends, different changes that are happening, things like that. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Thank you so much for joining us on The Upside with Poppy and Nsako. What a rock star. What an icon you are to us, because we literally rely on you. Mbuyiselo Vilakazi, a great content creator, TV producer, and just all-round great guy.